I don't wanna write this down. I wanna tell you how I feel right now.
So in this one, I'm going to be dealing with Allen Iverson, one of the most, if not the most appealing basketball player to ever enter the NBA. Seriously. Even with Michael Jordan in the conversation, I still feel like he might be the most appealing basketball player the NBA has ever had, period. He came into the NBA in 1996 in a stacked draft year. A lot of NBA legends came out of that draft year as well. Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Ray Allen, and Allen Iverson was the first pick in that draft year. Coming out from college, his name was very popular. A lot of people know him, a lot of people liked him and respected him. And on the other side of that, a lot of people hated him and wanted to see him fail and wanted to see the worst for him and didn't want him to even go to the NBA. He had an incident in a bowling alley where they said he threw a chair in some type of rumble and the chair hit a girl and she pressed charges on him and he ended up was looking at a few years in prison, but he only did like a few months. The governor granted him clemency and he was able to come out early. And he had this stigma around him from that moment that a lot of NBA scouts was frowning on because after he caught those charges, well, before he caught those charges, damn near every college wanted him. But after he caught that charge, pretty much nobody wanted him. So when he finally ended up at Georgetown and made the NBA, it was so many people eyes on him, so much attention around him, so many people wanted to see the good or the bad. And he came into the NBA with a certain style about him that the NBA didn't like at all. It was street oriented, it was a street look. And the NBA was about professionalism. The NBA was about suits and, decency and all that, professionalism. And Iverson came in with his own personality. He came in, he wasn't disrespectful, but they took it as disrespect because he didn't want to fit in and look like everybody else and act and talk like everybody else because of his background where he's coming from. He's coming from Virginia. He's coming from, urban community. So Iverson had to really fight to really get the NBA to respect him. Years go by and his team couldn't do anything in the playoff. Every time they'll get to the first round, they always get eliminated. And Iverson and his coach was having a lot of problems throughout this whole period. Throughout from 96 to about 1999, they was having big issues from Iverson not wanting to practice and him not being around the team and him hanging out and being at clubs and things like that. His coach, Larry Brown, had a big problem with him, actually wanted to trade him one year. And the president of the 76ers actually wanted to trade Iverson, but, something fell through and he wasn't traded. If Iverson would have been traded that year to the team that they wanted to trade him to, which was the LA Clippers, I'm telling you right now, his career would have been over. He wouldn't be the same Allen Iverson he turned out to be, at the end of the day. Okay, so seriously, because that team he would have been a talent over there, but the team that it was would have overshadowed his career and everything like that, his appeal and all that. So Iverson got his shit together in the year 2000. In the year 2000 is when Allen Iverson really became this kind of a star presence in the NBA that the NBA itself and the higher ups started to respect him. And for the most part, the fans started to really, kind of tune into him a little bit more and start showing a little bit more respect and start liking him a little bit more. And what happened in the year 2000, that year was the actual year that Allen Iverson sold out completely and went to the dark side because this is very normal in the industry of the NBA. A lot of Freemasons is in the NBA, if not all of them are Freemasons. This is when Allen Iverson became a part of some society, some secret society, and that year, the year 2000, became essentially his year. That's the year that he started to really accomplish all these things to stamp him as one of the faces of the NBA, along with Kobe Bryant, which was established from winning a championship that year as well. No surprise. He won his first championship in the year 2000 as well. The same year, Iverson became a superstar. So Iverson won MVP in that season, the 2000 season, 2001 season. He won MVP. His coach won Coach of the Year. And the team got some accolades as well. The center won Defensive Player of the Year, and Aaron McKie, one of the bench players, won Sixth Man of the Year. That's 4 accolades going to one team, right? That's 4 accolades: MVP, Coach of the Year, uh, Sixth Man of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year. This is on one squad. I've never seen that even happen afterwards. I've never seen that shit, really. That many accolades given to one team in one season. So Iverson was getting a lot of favors done for him. Now, granted, of course, he was highly talented and skilled, and he was one of the best players in the NBA for the most part. That's a fact. But there's these years that the NBA shined the light specifically on certain players. And this year was Allen Iverson's year. They ended up going to the NBA Finals that year. They didn't win it. They faced Kobe Bryant. And like I said, he's another Freemason that was put in a position to be the face of the NBA. So that was in the midst of Kobe Bryant's reigning. So Iverson wasn't able to get the championship. And Kobe Bryant is more of a better fit for the NBA, for a poster child of the NBA, because he's just squeaky clean from day one. Up until his, rape charges and all that, there was nothing to say about Kobe Bryant. But there was all these things to say about Iverson. And in the off season, Iverson actually went and made a rap album, right? Because they're giving him so much freedom and so much room to do what he want to do that he feel like he can go and explore and do things. So he goes and he make this rap album, but it actually blew up in his face. Yeah, because the NBA did not approve of it in any type of way. They frowned on him. They start to do what they do, which is whenever you go against them, go against the grain, they'll just embarrass you and plaster you out there negatively, which is what they were doing to him, right? And they were doing this to him that whole pretty much off season. You know what I'm saying? And he had a meeting with the higher ups, which is the president of the team and the higher ups of the NBA, to get his shit together. And they're gonna pull that album off the shelf, which they ended up doing. And he wasn't happy about it, but he had to do what he had to do. He is now officially a member of some society of the NBA, and he has to follow the code or their circumstances. Simple as that. Now, the year after that, the following season after that, the year 2002, the Sixers had a horrible year that year. I don't know what happened. They barely made the playoffs. I believe they made probably about 6th or 5th seed. And they were facing the Boston Celtics. And the Celtics extremely embarrassed the Sixers. Like, extremely. Demolished and smashed them. 4-1, I believe it was. Right? Got them out of there immediately. If I'm not mistaken, they might have gotten swept, but for some reason I don't think they got swept. But they definitely got eliminated pretty easy. It was like 4-1. They only won, if anything, they won like one game. And I promise you, it was a horrible season. It was a horrible playoff series. It was just terrible. Iverson had a beautiful season the year before that, And just the following year after that was like the worst season of his life. In the off season, he actually caught a lot of hell for being accused, for one, of throwing his wife out butt naked, they said, allegedly. They had an argument. He threw her out of the house in the cold. Oh, no, it wasn't the cold because it was in June or July. But they said he threw her out of the house butt naked. She went over to some family member's house, and Iverson went over there with a gun looking for her, right? This is what was going on in the off season. Every time you see him, he was in the news, and this is what they were talking about. And I'm going to tell you why all this hell was going on with him all at the same time. It was the result of the decision he made for going into whatever secret club that he went into. They have so much control over your life. The NBA and the secret societies, they have takings that they need as well. They give you things and they need to take things from you, right? And they'll do you this little favor by pushing them up there, putting them in the NBA finals and giving them the MVP and all that. But the repercussions, if you will, the payoff that is gonna have to come at the end of the day, it's gonna make you look really, really, really crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? That year was a nightmare year for Allen Iverson. And he was never able to lift himself back up to the level and the status that he had years prior. Ever since that year, Iverson's career has just been at a standstill until it started to dwindle and he had to retire and get away from the NBA because it was getting no better. It was pretty much getting embarrassing to watch him out there, barely could move. Definitely put on a lot of weight. His speed went away. He couldn't move as fast as he could have previously. So a lot of his ability to score and get by people was compromised, and he just wasn't himself. And then he started getting traded all over the place. And that definitely took a lot from his status. It took a lot from the person, Allen Iverson. He didn't even look the same no more. And this is the NBA pretty much being done with him completely. At this point, when, Iverson was being traded all over the place, that light that they had on him had been off of him and was definitely was on Kobe, but for the most part was on LeBron James. That was their new guy, LeBron James. Iverson was done and over with and flopped, and they threw him out like garbage, straight out of the NBA. Now, when they called him for the Hall of Fame enshrinement, that was well deserving. But when they call him for the Hall of Fame enshrinement, he went there. If you noticed, if you watch that ceremony, you would see Allen Iverson wearing nothing but black, all black. There's a red carpet outside, obviously, right? That leads into this building. And the red carpet, matter of fact, I'm not even going to deal with that. He's wearing all black. He's wearing all black. And that all black is very symbolic to the fact that he worshiped in darkness. He worshiped the darkness. He's a son of Lucifer, just like LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and all of the rest of them. There is no difference. You get in the industry of the NBA, you have to become a part of a club. You have to become a member in a club. I keep telling y'all, there is no difference. Whenever you see their career elevate and get to a certain level, and for the millionth time, it is a fact. It's not just based on talent. Whenever you see the industry elevate you to a certain level, way up there, that's when you know officially that person did what they had to do. That person did some dark, demonic shit. They went in the dark and did what they felt like they had to do. Simple as that. They felt like they had to do it. Of course, you don't have to do anything. They did it so they can remain relevant in the industry. Iverson wearing his all black And everybody else, no surprise, everybody else that was there was wearing all black as well. His whole family had on all black. His coach, Larry Brown, came up there to congratulate him. He's wearing black and white. Black and white, that's the same colors of the checkered floor, the Freemason checkered floor, the black and white, the yin and yang, black and white. Shaquille O'Neal, he was up there congratulating as well. He got on black and red, and Shaq is a known Freemason, self-admitted Freemason. He said it on Inside the NBA. There's no question at all in any kind of way if Iverson is a child of the devil, just like the rest of them. Also, when BET had a celebration for athletes, I forgot what year, and they gave Iverson like the Lifetime Achievement Award or something. His appearance at that ceremony was the same as well, all black. And of course, BET had the red carpet outside, just like the fucking Grammys or whatever, because BET is just like CBS and the rest of them. It's a part of the industry. Simple as that. It's owned by Viacom. Viacom, I'm pretty sure. Viacom, if it doesn't own CBS and all that, it owns all of the top media, like VH1, like those type of media. Like it owns all that shit. MTV and all that. And they own BET as well. So believe me when I tell you, man. Iverson was there in all black, and it's no surprise. Also, because I forgot to say this, the 76ers had celebrated him as well. Like, I think they retired his jersey or something. And what do you know? No surprise again. He had on all black from his hat all the way down to his shoes. Everything black. Everything was black. Being that I know that these colors are very symbolic to these celebrities, I know exactly what's going on, man. It's all about the club. It's all about being members of the club and following a code. And wearing colors at certain events is very symbolic. That's it. Allen Iverson definitely was owed by the NBA to go into the Hall of Fame because he did a lot for the NBA, man. He inspired so many kids to play and watch basketball. He inspired so many watchers of the NBA. He made it a lot more interesting with the moves and the crossovers and all that, and just how he played. He got he got a will to win. He ain't scared of nothing. He played with his heart on his sleeve, real tough. You know what I'm saying? He inspired even a hip hop game. Many people you see running around with his jersey on, many rap references about Iverson's in rap songs. I mean, the dude inspired a whole generation. He really did. But under the devil's control. Point blank, period. This has nothing to do with God. Allen Iverson has no connection with God. If you ever hear him say anything about God, keep in mind that they also call Lucifer God as well. Whoever worship Lucifer, do not call him the devil. They call him God. They call him the ruler or the master, right? Don't be fooled no longer, man. Let go of your let go of your infatuation for these celebrities and what they do. You can respect what they do and their ability to do it, but you have to at some point see them for the human being that they are and either respect it or simply walk away from it. And anybody that worships in the dark, like Allen Iverson does, being a member of a dark society, that's why you always see him throwing up the devil's horn. The devil's horn that the guy, his name is Anton LaVey, created. That guy throw up the same devil horn Allen Iverson threw up, and that guy created the Church of Satan in 1966. Iverson is throwing up signs with his fingers that's representative of this church and this whole thing that this guy Anton LaVey, a Satanist, created. Let's be serious. We got to be done with Allen Iverson, period, and see him for who he is, a child of the devil. And that's it. I'm done.